Hola everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be reading your unpopular opinions. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe for monthly pigeon content. With that out of the way, let's get started. Violet Feathers says, pigeons are better than parrots, like way better. Pigeon also says, parrots make crappy pets. I 100% agree to both of that. Don't get me wrong, but parrots are beautiful and amazing birds. They can also talk and dance, but they make horrible pets. Not only are they extremely expensive, they destroy everything you have, make loud noises, have complex body language, and some can even bite your finger off. Pigeons, on the other hand, are much calmer, less noisy, very cuddly, easy body language, and thankfully can't bite your finger off. On to the next one. App says, conures make terrible pets. Since I never owned nor interacted with a conure, I asked App why conures would make bad pets, and this is what App said. Conures are overly clingy, extremely chattery, high energy, aggressive, etc. They can make great pets, but for the average owner, they end up being caged and neglected all the time. So with that response, it seems to me that conures are very time-consuming and hard to care for. Thank you for explaining, App. Let's move on to the next one. Artistic Burb says, cockatoos and toucans don't belong in captivity. Cockatoos, I would say, need the right type of person, since cockatoos require a certain type of person with a certain type of lifestyle to meet their needs. Toucans, however, seems like they shouldn't be in captivity at all, only for conservation issues. There's not a lot of information on how to care for them, and they would just be better off in the wild. Next opinion? Sable 2D Life says, a lot of people say that wing clipping is bad, but it all depends on the situation in my opinion. There has to be a good reason for it. Lord Dio, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, says, for opinion, how about clipping a bird's wings makes it easier to tame them, although given all the American pet shop birds that seems to be popular over there. Wing clipping isn't all that bad, depending on why you're doing it. Some birds have medical issues and sometimes can't fly properly and end up hurting themselves. Wing clipping can prevent them from injuring themselves. Another reason to clip is for birds like Wapon that are disabled and have a droopy wing which makes them trip constantly. Or maybe they are under a certain type of medical treatment that requires them to stay on the ground. You're correct, it is pretty popular to clip a bird's wings in American pet shops. Clipping, however, to just tame them easier, is cruel and doesn't make any sense. The bird's muscles can weaken and end up having many health issues, and a bird relies on flying to get away from danger. If they think you are a threat and feel like they need to get away but can't because their wings are clipped, can make them aggressive and scared. I tamed Wapon quickly, not because he can't fly, but because he was so desperate for cuddles that he faced his fears and let me cuddle him. Now this one's interesting. This old farmhouse says, I don't bathe my chickens. It is very common that the water puts them into shock and they won't make it. It's a very unpopular opinion since most bathe their chickens before shows. Now I don't know too much about chickens, but this is what I understand from it. Chickens could be bathed in water, but they don't like it much, and if you do it wrong, it can pose risks. Thanks Burb for helping me with this one. Last two left. Maud Snadwich says, unpopular bird opinion. Anyone with a healthy macaw should do the work into free flight. No home, environment, or aviary is big enough for the animal to get the full exercise it needs due to its size. Ivava says, opposite to that, anyone with a bird smaller than a green-cheeked conure shouldn't free fly at all. I agree with this one too. A healthy macaw should be free-flown. If I remember correctly, they do fly miles and miles searching for food, and you have to at least replicate that with free-flying. And anything smaller than a conure shouldn't be free-flown at all. That's a flying snack right there. No hawk would turn that down. Thank you to everyone who gave me their unpopular opinions. I greatly appreciate that. And a little hint for the next video will be an exciting new movie trailer, but with some new actors. See you then.
With you, I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dream.